Okay, here we go, and we are live and in living colors. Are we? Yes, we are. Live and living colors. Hello, everyone. Good night to you all. I trust everyone is in fine shape. Glad to have you on. Just nobody will get washed out or all of that. Yes, let's say some good night on the live. Let's say some good night. Yeah. Hello, Arlene. How are you? Good night. Sharon. Good night. Maxine. Good night, my darling. Jessica. Martin. Good night, everybody. I trust everybody's in good. Hey, Andol. I haven't seen you for quite a while. Anthony. Alka. All right, Orville, Ivan, good night, 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 everybody. Wave, send a wave, I send a wave, I send two waves. All right, let's do a wave. All right, everybody good? All right, let's get this show on the road for as short a possible time as we can manage. All right. So first thing I want to talk about is the Burger Gully situation in East Kingston and Port Royal, or Kingston East and Port Royal is the correct name, as God Suarez like to remind everyone. So the Burger Gully has been a disaster for many moons. It has been a problem for the residents of the Burger area for quite a while. The flooring, a good section of the flooring is gone, at least about 40 feet, maybe more of the flooring has pretty much lifted up and go land somewhere else. So last Friday, was it last Friday? Not Friday gone, the Friday before, I was woken up in the middle of the night there with my friend Buchanan, who is pretty much blind, telling me about all the water. The water was up to his waist at the time when we went on a video call. And I was quite distressed by it. So I arranged for a couple of people to go down there and to sort out some things and things. Anyway, I told you about that last week. Since then, some positive things have taken place. One, I visited again, got some help, brought it, and a lot of people came out and people help each other. The Burger community has always been there for themselves. Everybody gathered at Buchanan Yard and they helped each other make packages for people, hand out packages for the senior citizens. That was a great event that took place Friday last. And all the senior citizens got their packages. There are lots of pictures, I just didn't put up any. I will leave that to the community to do that for themselves. Today, one of the senior citizens' house was painted today. About 3 or 4 senior citizens have got their house cleaned up and repainted and made more comfortable for them to sleep in peace while we pray that there is no more flooding, at least for this season. There is an organization in East Kingston, Port Royal East, whatever it is, in East Kingston. There is a charity organization by the name of Mother and Child. It was an organization that was conceptualized by a group of people, including myself, when we were all hanging out in East Kingston, for what I don't know, but we were doing stuff. We had Buck had this place and we all was just gathering there and doing all kind of things. The idea of a Mother and Child seminar came up by Buchanan, and him roping about 4 of us, me and Stephanie. I don't know who else was there. And we had the Mother and Child thing. It's a thing where you're bringing the mothers and the children into an environment for various things, for learning, communication, for wellness, for skills, to develop relationships between mothers and children. Some old women with some big woman and some big man with some big man. It was quite an interesting thing when we first started it. Buchanan being totally blind and can't do any of those things anymore, is doing whatever he can from where he is. So the organization was taken over by Stephanie Stennett. And Stephanie is doing a wonderful job in using that organization for social intervention and for helping the poor citizens of the Rockfort area. And so it's a mother and child organization that kind of took control of everything since the flood. I think them got some help also from MP Paulwell, and Stephen got some additional help. And we're basically helping as much as we can in that respect. We're going to talk a little bit more about that. On October 9th, and Stephanie, you can text me on 596-1733 if I'm incorrect about anything. But I believe on October 9th, there will be a health and wellness check at the Burger Church. Nobody knows the church in the church, so the church in a burger. So that's what I'm calling it. Nobody can tell me the church name. And it will be a health and wellness check where they're trying to bring in some doctors and some health professionals to give people checks to see if anybody catch malaria, to see if any illnesses have developed, to see if anybody's pre-existing conditions has been made worse, but as a result of the garbage and that has flooded over into people's home. And so this organization, Mother and Child Foundation, is doing a hell of a job, and I want to commend Stephanie Stennett. Now, all of this will be continuing with the senior citizens and getting the senior citizen homes, particularly the homes of senior citizens, to get them up to scratch, to make sure they're not ill. There are some coughs going on and some little pain that's going on, and so we're to try to see if we can get it done and get those people up to scratch. For anybody, and I know that a lot of my subscribers, I want to thank Moses, and I have to mention Moses in particular, and other YouTube subscribers who has reached out and helped make these packages possible. And I want to big up yourself, Moses, Ital, Vera, was it again? Vera, Itel, Moses, and Miss Jones, yes, who reached out and helped to get these packages going. If any one of you want to contribute to this Mother and Child Foundation to keep that Burger Gully thing going, because it's going to take a while to get people back up to scratch, the houses, the people mattress gone, people bed get washed with. We have helped at least to just help buy back at least 2 mattresses as best as we can. And there are lots of things to be accomplished, a lot of things to be done. And so if you want to help, you can contact Stephanie Stennett at 334-8650. Stephanie, do I have your number right? 334-8650. You can contact Stephanie. Stephanie, you can get in touch with me at 596-1733. So that's 334-8650, and that's Stephanie Stennett. You can reach out to her, get a better understanding of what they're doing, and see how you can help. Otherwise, those of you, my subscribers, if you want to make a contribution, please feel free to contact me, and I will accept that contribution on behalf of the people of Burger. And we're not going to let it go in terms of it is a recurrent problem that been happening for years. On the side of, in terms of what the Member of Parliament and the government in particular are doing, I've been reliably informed that the matter was discussed at length at the cabinet level. I have been reliably informed that the matter has been looked into. It's a major project. We have to take into consideration it is not one of those things that are in budget, but that's what government has to be prepared for, disasters like these, where lives can be lost, and every measure must be taken, everything must be done to ensure that people get the best care possible coming out of this, which is the most important thing right now, to make sure people are healthy, all right, and help people put back their lives together in whatever way that we possibly can. And so I'm urging the government, urging the Prime Minister and Philip Powell to work together to get this gully fixed. And I'm not going to let it go. I can't. I have too many people down there that I care about. Too many of them. I mean, these are my people. Powell people them, but quite a few of them are my people in terms of friendship and comradeship, and these are my people that I care very deeply about these people, the senior citizens who are in dire straits and need as much help as they possibly can. So I'm imploring the government to step it up and make this as quick as possible to get it done. It's a huge project. I know it's a huge, big money project that will require a lot of things. But I am a simple woman, and I think that some things that government and bureaucrats believe that are huge and mighty and all of that is not as hard as they make it out to be. Somebody just go down there, the engineers, the whatever, who assess what it takes to put in back the gully floor and lift the gully higher. I'm going to find the money and do it. It's as simple as that. I am always of the view that government can find money to do whatever government wants to do. I still maintain that this is a very, very important thing, and this is the lives of people, the citizens of this country, the ones who currently resides in Berga on the Gully side. Alright? I'm going to forgive the utterances of the mayor who talking about them should live by the Gully bank and all the rest of it. Your worship, you'd be amazed to know how many of us actually live by the Gully bank, and there's nothing we can do about it. And do what probably people do live by the Gully side too. I promise you that. So don't hold it against people as to where they settled, where they are domiciled because of whatever circumstances that has befallen them, that they end up this way. And people live good lives on the Gully side too, very good lives on the Gully side. So please, everybody just do what you can. Reach out to Stephanie once again, 334 8650. That's Stephanie's number. You can reach out to her, and you all can also contact me if you're any of my subscribers who you want, if you want to help. And that's basically where that is for the Gully and for Berga Gully. I think that's it. Yeah. All right. So let's roll right over into the live. And the first thing on my list was not on the list until I saw it, and then when I saw it, I decided that this must be on the list, and that is Comrade Donna Scott Motley, who is now the spokesperson in the Rise United camp, spokesperson responsible for foreign affairs and regional affairs and all kinds of affairs. I don't know what kind of a spokesperson thing is that. Foreign affairs and regional. Foreign affairs include regional and it include Caribbean and everywhere. So it's foreign affairs, but Marky G wants to be, whatever he wants to be, so then put him do that. So I gather that Comrade Donna Scott has, and I am calling you Comrade Donna Scott, even though you don't appear risers in there now, but I decided in my mind tonight I'm calling you Comrade Donna Scott. And Comrade Donna Scott made a statement, gave a statement to the media regarding Jamaica's stance in the Israel-Palestinian conflict. And I am of the view that Donna Scott Motley have more sense than that. I am of the view that she understands the dynamics of international politics to a certain extent, maybe not widely, but I'm sure Donna Scott must know that that statement that she issued is just one stupid, big, wrong statement to be issued, taking the government to task about the position that the government took at the UN regarding the vote on Israel and Palestine. But just in case Donna Scott is really not that up to date and informed as I think that she is, or maybe I think that she is, let me see if I can enlighten you, Comrade Donna Scott. Israel and Palestine have been going at it for many, many decades, long before me and maybe even you. Maybe all of us, they have been going at it ever since Israel landed down in that part of the woods, neck of the woods. And there is more to international politics than actually deciding that you want to meddle in something. I remember when Michael got himself all involved in Michael Manley in the Colombia drug cartel thing. And he was having a personal thing going on. I think some member of his family might have been addicted to cocaine at the time, which was the big thing. And he took a big risk and he went out against that. Now that was a different matter because it was a common enemy against everyone. So Michael could take a position on that. The matter of Israel and Palestine is not one that can be taken lightly. Israel still believe that they have to fight for their right to exist. Now whether that is true or not, that is how they view it. Huh? The Palestinians have been suffering through blood and hunger and starvation and bombings and losing their homes and been pushed farther and farther away from the land that they owned. And that is also tragic. What does a country like Jamaica do in a situation like that? Because Jamaica is just one of 32 countries that voted to not vote. Well, not vote at all. And not to abstain, not to say yes, not to say no. I never know such a vote exists. I should have known that such a vote exists in the UN, where you don't have to vote to abstain. You can actually vote not to do any of those things, so to speak. It's how them put it, not me put it. So that's what you must understand. Come on, you must know that this is not an easy thing. And Jamaica can't just get up and take a side. You want the Jamaican Prime Minister and the Minister of Foreign Affairs to get up and say, yeah, we are back Palestine. Are you crack? You lick your head. Jamaica can't do that. But let me remind you of something that is very, very alien to all of you over there, particularly your leader. And I don't know if you don't know or is him tell you to go and say that and write that. But let me put something to you, Donna Scott. Because you don't understand. Benjamin Netanyahu is a real bad guy. He is not a nice man. That doesn't mean, and while he's a prime minister of Israel, he does not, what he's doing now with Palestine does not represent the overwhelming wishes of the Israeli people. There are whole hosts of Israelis out every day protesting against him and his war, because for him, this is not a war. Him trying to convince people that it's a war to protect Israel, but it's really a war for him to stay in power. It has nothing to do with peace. For him, it's power, just like your leader, Donna Scott. Everything is about power, not peace. So Netanyahu thing is not about peace. If it was peace, they would have found that already in some shape or form. I mean, Bill Clinton and Yasser Arafat met down at Camp David and signed this big thing. And the world celebrated it. Israel quat, Arafat and him crew quat, and there was peace for a couple of years and everybody get to live in tranquility. I am sure, absolutely certain, that should Benjamin Netanyahu really required peace, it could be done. Trump would have facilitated. Britain would facilitate it. France would facilitate it. The entire G7 would facilitate it. NATO would facilitate it. But Netanyahu does not want peace. And you and your leader want this country to take a side. Come on, Donna Scott. You want us to take a side in a conflict that is older than all of us? It is sad. And we feel empathy for the people of Palestine. We do. And I'm one of those who believe that Israel have a right to exist. Yes, I also believe that Palestinians have a right to exist on their land as well. And the two of them can't work it out. The only thing that Jamaica can take a voice in or a stance in is when there's a team of people saying we're going to try and see if we can broker peace. At that time, Jamaica can take a side, and that side would be we are in for that. We want peace, so we're going to help all of us come together and say if we can get to talk to Netanyahu, because Netanyahu are really the problem. Not the people of Israel. It's them leaders are the problem. Huh? And you want our Prime Minister and our Foreign Affairs Minister to take a stance. Well, let me remind you of something else that is foreign to you and your leader. Our Prime Minister and our Minister of Foreign Affairs represents Jamaica. Their first priority, no matter where they go, no matter what they're discussing, no matter what's taking place in the world, their first priority is Jamaica and the well-being of Jamaica and its people, our peace, our security, our economic freedom, our right to access stuff from everybody, not making any war. We're not an army, we don't war with nobody. We don't war with nobody. We don't war with nobody. Now why would you want us to take a side? And this is how we start. This is a situation where a statement from you should read something like, while we understand the government stance, the opposition would like to express sympathy towards the people of Palestine and to urge the Israeli government to quickly meet with the Palestinian leaders and arrive at some peaceful conclusion. That would have been the statement, not being surprised or being like you're disappointed in the government. Understand that the government you're mad or something. You can't join that mad crew. Madness belongs to us over here on social media. But don't join that. You're talking about, do you want the country to take a stance against Israel in support of the Palestinian, or at some other point you might want us to take a stance with Israel against the Palestinian. There's no stance for Jamaica to take. Jamaica needs to play an impartial role where we believe that Israel have the right to exist. I personally believe Netanyahu is a criminal, but that is just my belief. And I believe a whole host of people, Israeli people, agree with me on that. I am in contact with a whole heap of groupings on social media and through emails that are joined from the Clinton campaign thing. And I'm saying that a whole host of Israelis are against what Netanyahu is doing. Because for him, it's power. It's not about, he don't want peace, he wants to keep his power. If he don't keep him power, I'm going to prison. There. So Donna Scott, as the new Foreign Affairs spokes, think carefully before you speak, man. Think carefully. And if no other spokesman or spokeswomanship over there is important, this one is. And this one must be in sync with whatever the government is doing. It must be. You can criticize, you can add things to it, but there's nothing for you to oppose in or against in terms of how we deal with our counterparts on foreign soil. I mean, everything is about not harming Jamaica. Everything is about betterment for Jamaica. And whatever is happening, Mr. Oldest' responsibility when they go to across the globe is to represent Jamaica's best interest, which we are absolutely glad that the other man don't have to do, because he wouldn't be able to do it. Mr. Oldest can stand up for Jamaica, and without that they do something else, we don't know. God in heaven know. I said a silent prayer today when I heard it, that the people of Jamaica chose Jamaica and not UNO, because I hate to think what that would have looked like on the foreign stage. Not on the international stage. UNO would be performing all kind of gymnastics that put Jamaica at risk. So let's give a great big applause to the people of Jamaica who saw it and decided that them don't want it. So Donna Scott, Comrade Donna Scott, you need to recalibrate how you deal with this whole foreign affairs thing, because you can't put out them kind of statement there. Foreign affairs statement from the opposition must mostly be in support of the government stance, particularly the UN, because, and if you have any concerns, you must be able to say to your counterpart, Mrs. Kamina Johnson Smith, that you have concern about that and so on and so forth. But then again, I don't know if the government can feel comfortable sharing anything with you because we can't be trusted. Or they can't be trusted. So I don't know if Mr. Johnson Smith would feel comfortable calling you in and have a discussion with you and say that Jamaica has taken this stance and would like the opposition support on it. I would like to encourage the government and Mrs. Johnson Smith that when it comes to foreign affairs, the government should at least have some level of discussions with Dana Scott Matley, not with Massa. She can't go tell him what to say, but with Dana Scott, just to get an input. Here's why I think that is important. This is foreign affairs. That's the first thing. And it's about Jamaica's business. And I would like very much to think that the opposition, in all their glory of being saboteurs and treasonous and traitors, and that them don't love Jamaica, in all of that, I do believe that the country needs an active and involved opposition, but one that is, adept at what is going on and act in the best interest and say what I'm going to say within the best interest of a country. Now, if they're not going to do that, no, that's a different kettle of fish. But the government can extend an hand from time to time to include them in this. Some will look like one, at least on the foreign stage. But if this is the way you start, Donna, I don't know if Mrs. Johnson Smith wants to have any conversation with you about that, because this looked to me like I could say something on it. Yeah, I could say them should have do this and them should have that. It don't look like a well thought out thing to me, and that is bothersome. But I suspect that going forward, a lot of things that will say are going to be a bother to me. I am praying to the good Lord and hope that that is not the case, but it appears to me that a lot of things that we do and say is going to be a bother to me, because when I don't have no sense of patriotism, when I don't have no sense of commitment to Jamaica, because I'm a leader, I don't want to please the leader. Don't please the leader on off the charts. So I mean, it is greatly questionable, your commitment to this country. All I know over there, 28, I don't know. But, when you can go shout out that the number there anytime when it's ready. So, that is my opening with Dana Scott. It was not meant to be the opening. Everybody good? I get my honey. Venetia Phillips, you don't expect me to come to your yard for the honey, do you? You really expect me to come there for it? You can't expect that. Mm-hmm. So, that is that. Now, I want to do a little update on the, again, Mr. Yeah, I hear you. Yeah, a war. If a war. All right, true. A little update on the Paul Buchanan saga, because Mr. Buchanan has been out and about doing the Ugly Man tour. It's a one-man tour, the Ugly Man one-man tour, and saying all kind of things, doing all kind of things out there, spouting all kind of spouting all kind of nonsense out I'm head. And the latest one is that he believes that there was collusion between the PNP indoor agents in particular clusters. It never say which, but in believe there is collusion. Like the Russia collusion. In believe there is collusion. There was collusion between PNP indoor agents and the outdoor agents of the PNP. And him one says where him believe it enough. Him just confident enough to say where him think that collusion was taking place enough. Him want say it enough. Well want say it. But him don't really want say it. Him not sure, him not confident, him not courageous enough. to say that him think there's desert up there, over desert up there, wherever. You know? But, Mr. Buchanan, I have just one word for you, one thing for you tonight, and that is, when you came here on Master Mark's instructions to try and continue your efforts to impugn the character of my member of parliament, I knew that that is what you came to do. And that, so, you get what you don't get, and you know what you don't get. But in addition to that, you're filing all kinds of things, you're going all over the place talking all kinds of things. Now, I am one of those who don't believe that people should record people without them knowledge. I don't like it. I don't do it. I don't record people neither with or without them knowledge. There's no need for me to do that. I can always say, tell me something, if you're there. And people recording people is just not something that I fancy. Unfortunate for you though, ugly man, the young ladies, again, well, I didn't tell them to. I certainly did not. So you can imagine my shock when I was told that there is audio, Mr. Buchanan, audio of you proposing to break election laws, audio of you proposing to create mischief and violence. And when I was getting mad about them recording you, them simple said, even if I talk about something we couldn't keep up, I would not remember some of it. So we decided the second time we hear the first time, I would not remember half of what him say, but to repeat it, we just decided to record him saying it. So there, that is their justification. So just a reminder, Paul B, when you're going to court, audio is available. Audio is available. So, and it wasn't on my instruction. I would never instruct any such thing. I don't believe in it. But they are ingenious young women, and they have been trained under me for a while, so them know what is what and what is at stake. And as she said, what them say, couldn't understand him chat up or something, chat and go on, so can't keep up. So we're recording. Audio. Paul B, audio. Oh yeah, come down West Central. And the JLP is going to need a new leader at the end of this election. Look like poor you. So that's the state of play right now as it is. Paul B. Buchanan. For those of you, and a couple of people have sent me some things where people say that, you know, let me tell you, no laws were broken in what we did to him. I was very cognizant of the fact that there's no law to be broken. And this is simple campaign ploy and strategies. One of the people of St. Thomas that listen to me. Ploy and strategies. Yeah. That was all that is. Ploy and strategy. Because we think you're an income pool. You're ugly. You're short. You show off. And you come down and chat crap about my MP. And I wasn't going to make you just walk up and down my constituency. Behaving like you're in charge or something. And you can't stay here either. So if Massa plan to make you stay to be anything down here, I would advise you very, very, like, listen, I'm talking to you like a friend now. May I say this to you? Walk away. Walk away, man. Walk away. I want to point out something to you, Paul Buchanan. I'm sure somebody's going to tell you. Patrick's responsibility as a counsellor was to aid you, to help you, to make things easier for you. That was one of Patrick's main responsibility. And in doing so, it was Patrick's responsibility to mobilize his people. Because all the people in Jerusalem are Patrick people them. Every PMP in Jerusalem are Patrick people them. You know, some of them make up them knives and make up them face and vex more all kind of things. But they're Patrick people them. All the way are Patrick people them. And so, under normal circumstances, you being the candidate, the entire PMP marching crew in the entire part of West Central, St. Andrew, would be in your t-shirt. But I made it, I mean, I tell you this box so you can't go do anything you want. I made it absolutely clear to Patrick Roberts that nobody in a Jews land not wearing a t-shirt with the ugly man face. And Jews and people, especially them up here, sir, them don't like ugly people. Because we're nice and good looking up here, sir. Because some of them not so good looking, but them still don't like ugly people. And nobody was ever going to wear your t-shirt. Not ever. Not going on no campaign trail, no meeting, and certainly not election day. You crack. So Patrick couldn't do it. So of course, I had to take charge of that. One order. Every single person must have a Patrick Roberts t-shirt. All me get my Patrick Roberts t-shirt. All you have to do is print them and send them, come give me. Every one of them Patrick Roberts t-shirt, because we were not going to tolerate no damn ugly man t-shirt in a Jews and that's certainly not up here, so. We weren't going to tolerate that. We had to do everything we can. I had to do everything I could to ensure that you get the message that you should not have come into my ice cream shop and chat crap about my member of parliament. You rang up. You rang up, man. You need to check yourself. You shouldn't have done that. So, those are the measures that we have to take to ensure that you are embarrassed. There was not one person in the world that used that in a Paul Buchanan shirt. And there was no picture of Paul Buchanan up on my ends, because I would burn the place down if there was one. None for you, none for Mark. And put them on various places. Not on my entrance, not on my ends. I'll burn them down. All because of what you said. Nothing else. So do your ugly man tour and spout off your mouth about things, but you're not staying here. I want you here. I want to be able to have peace and tranquility, because Andrew Willis is our member of parliament. The Prime Minister is our member of parliament. And Patrick is the guy that I'm going to be dealing with, whether you are massa like it or not. Because there was, what you say? Collusion. Collusion between the JLP indoor agent and the PNP. Boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. I want to feel sorry for you, Paul McKenna, but I don't, because you're too cockety, short, ugly, and cockety. You're too out of order. You're too out of order. And you know me to take kindly to those things. And I'm very unforgiving in those matters. So there. Remember, when you're doing your court and your outings and your, I hear you, and your excitement, do remember, let me repeat, there is audio. And I am not guilty of that. Not at all. I never instigate or ordered any such thing. Not I. Not my style. But the ingenious young women them thought that them couldn't follow up everything what you do and the whole heap of jungle man them and the whole heap of things them when you have plan, and them couldn't follow it up, so them record your boss, man. Them just record you. That is that. Let's calm down. Calm down. Take it down. Take it down. Why not? Take it down. So, and that audio thing is just in case you're actually going through with this whole court thing. I am one of the guardians of our member of parliament, Andrew Willis. I'll be out here to fling stone if I need to, and quarrel when I need to. Him short, him ugly, and him not no sense. So there. I bet nobody will come here again, come try that crap. Alright, everybody having a good time, I see that. Now, come on now. We're not having a good time. Yes, let's sing. Thank you, Lord, that you ever thought of me. Sing. Thank you, Lord, that you ever thought of me. Many of the blessings that you give unto me, blessings overflowing like a mighty sea. Lord, I want to thank you for your love for me. We can't do the rest. Thank you, Lord. All right, let's move on. In not only the United States but across the world, during elections time, media houses tends to take a side. We can use Britain as a prime example. Lord of mercy. ITV, BBC, Talk TV, them, Britain News, them, everybody have taken a side when it comes to, I wonder why my left eye is jumping now. When it comes to politics, everybody have taken a side. Now, I don't know if it's a common thing worldwide, but it seems to me that it has developed over the last couple of decades when newspapers endorsed candidates, like most of the liberal newspapers across the United States would endorse the Democratic candidate, except for the Washington Post. Kamala Harris got all the endorsement. New York Times, the LA Times, the San Francisco Chronicle, all of them endorsed each other. Not many of the conservative newspapers endorsed Mr. Trump, except for maybe the Wall Street Journal. I don't know. And some people chose not to endorse. Television stations don't really do endorsement, but their coverage and their narrative and the pundits that they bring on will tell you where they're going. CNN try to strike a balance every time. You have some MAGA quackheads on, and you have some real left-wing, out of left field Democrats on, and then you have some middle of the road people trying to straddle both sides, and it is. But everybody know where everybody stands. MSNBC in the bag for the Democrats, Fox News in the bag for the Republicans, Wall Street Journal in the bag for Republicans, the New York Times in the bag for the Democrats, and so on and so forth. Jamaica, however, has not been so much that, people have quarreled from time to time that when there's election, boy, see if you're a Labourite, see if you're a PMP, TVG a Labourite, see if you're and that kind of thing. We have had that back and forth for years. But this election, this one that just concluded on September 3rd, 2025, was something different. It was an election that everybody seemed like, or playing like, or pretending that they have a handle on it. But the truth of the matter is nobody did have an angle. Everybody was doing them all punditry, and lots of people analyzed and came to a conclusion which was near to correct or correct. But the truth of the entire matter is that it was one of those elections where nobody really never have a good handle on. From early on, from the day that Massa Mark started running for leader of the PNP, Matalan made it pretty clear that this is his guy, his Jewish brethren, his friend, the man who's going to bail him out, the man who's going to make sure the Matalan's on top, his guy. And Matalan made that pretty clear. Now, the Matalans have traditionally been supportive of the PNP. They have never taken it to the heights that this current Matalan took it. But what we should pay more attention to is that Matalan himself endorsed and supported Mark Gully, but that man himself controlled a good part of our mainstream media. Not only Gleaner, but there's RJR, and there's TVJ, and some of the more prominent, let us call them journalists for sake of this argument. Some of them don't act the part, but let's call them that. Some of the most prominent journalists that he has in his employ. In the last week or 2 weeks leading up to the elections, some of them that were straddling the middle ground or trying to straddle the middle ground came off of that horse and went smack right where Matalan needed them to be, supporting Mark Golding, supporting the rice camp, supporting the pedophiles and the rapists and the woman beaters them and them. Yeah? And Matalan never made a joke about it. When Matalan was publishing the poll, whatever the polls are saying, he allowed some of it to be shown because he want people to see some things and he don't want people to see other things. That was particularly targeted at the PNP people for them to be hyped about the possibility of winning. So Matalan took a side. And everybody know that Matalan took a side. I took a side against Matalan. I can't recall one life that I don't mention his name in it, because I know that him is the puppeteer over there. So. And then the only news network in this country that most Jamaicans say has a balanced perspective, whether you like them or you hate them, is Nationwide News Network. And they decided that they are also taking a stand. Matalan over there so I'm going with him foolishness, and Nationwide News decided that them go in a particular way. And I must say that even in the throes and the heights of supporting the government, Nationwide News still managed somehow to maintain some credibility in terms of balance. It is a hard thing to do, but they did it. They criticized, they quarreled, they supported, but they put forward facts and they put forward things for discussion and open the phone lines for that discussion to take place and open up them YouTube channel for that discussion to take place. It was never ever one-sided with them. And I'm telling you that, having gone through pretty much everything they was putting out for the whole elections. Every time them do something or put out something, the communication people over this side, my argument to them is, tell me, was there a balanced thing? Was it, every time George says something, I follow George, because George is a nerd. And sometimes George want to lick down Smaddy and I know if lick them down, so I'm saying it in a particular way, and then I go lick them down for George. Take it off for George, yeah? George is my guy. And so Nationwide News took a stand, as well as the Gleaner and Matalan and him entire. And it wasn't just a Gleaner with Matalan. It was TVJ and it was other newspapers and other things. But Nationwide supported the government and did it without lies, did it without tearing down Mark Golding, did it without lying on him, did it without misleading the country. Because that is what good news reporters do. You take a side in an election. There's some election campaign that you just have to take a side. The entire time in 2024, everybody was taking a side in the United States because they regard it as a consequential election. Never helped them much, but they did. And so I wanted us big up Nationwide, truly big up Nationwide for the stance that they did in their support, without tearing down, without lies, maintaining some level of independence. And I want to big them up. And if you want to find out how true that is, you would know that that is true because the risers, Dayton Campbell and them, did not send any business to Nationwide ends. No business. They got no business from them throughout the whole elections because they never liked the stance that Nationwide took. Contrary to the United States. I mean, I remember one ad that Kamala Harris team ran an ad in prime time on Tucker Carlson show. I mean, everybody spoke about it. And yes, yet, Trump never run no ad on MSNBC. He run on CNN, but not MSNBC. Because MSNBC is much more fairer and more balanced, even though they are a left-leaning organization. I suspect Nationwide is trying to establish themselves as that. Lawrence McDonald, Lawrence O'Donnell, no hold a candle to Trump. I beat up Trump now for about 20 years or 25 years. He met Trump before Trump even run for president. Lawrence O'Donnell, I like him. So there is that. So you have a Lawrence O'Donnell, but you also have a Rachel Maddow, who is not only brilliant, but she's fair and balanced. You know, I wasn't so fair, but she was balanced. Then there are a host of former George Bush people who are also at MSNBC. Nicole Wallace, who was press secretary for George W. Bush, was one of them one of the most prized primetime lineup, still is, you know. So what I'm saying to Jamaica is this: our media landscape during this election, Matalan and in conglomerate of media and its personalities, they took a side of lies and misinformation and could not find within themselves to create a balance to give the Jamaican people a balanced spread of what the news should be like. Them couldn't find it. Them had to toe the line entirely that Matalan wanted them to toe. Everything, none of them never saw it fit to say that this is not true. That thing when I talk about the Prime Minister having 28 bank book is not true. None of them. Not one of them. So there, you have it. And as a result of that, I do believe that our media landscape and the involvement of our media in our politics and our election is going to get, people are going to get more involved. I would like to encourage people, however, not to be so involved that you are not balanced and you are not fair. I promise you, if the Prime Minister should do some crap that I don't believe is the best interest of Jamaica, I am not going to disrespect him, but I'm going to talk about it and I'm going to tell him that that is not in the best interest of Jamaica. And I'm not a journalist, but I feel that if I'm going to communicate with people, I must communicate with them fairly and in a balanced way. Brings us right into Miss Diane Jackson Miller. I hope nobody never think that she was going to escape this tonight. I don't know. We were having a discussion of the war room about that, and when it's not that we don't like Diane Jackson Miller, but I do not like Diane Jackson Miller. I've never said it before. I do not like her. There's something about her that is very disingenuous. There's something about her that is snarky and nasty and always she want to one-up somebody, or she want to come across as being the smartest cat in the room. And so she, want to eat more cheese. And she come across as that kind of person. She is not a nice person. I could live with her Emily Jackson Shield. Emily was Jackson. Emily, whatever she's doing. Emily, I could live with her because she has her moments of unbiased commentary, or her moments when she have to actually say the truth as against what she might be asked to do otherwise, or what could be the best interest of her boss, and then pay a check. But if you have to bend over so wide over and tear up your clothes and bend down low for your boss, I mean, you need to find a new profession, a new job, because it just make you look bad. Look at Diane Jackson Miller, who would have been considered some years ago a go-to news person that you could go to, and she would say something that you would say, yeah, Diane Jackson Miller said that, and you would believe it. Back when Dennis all talk, we listen. And when Doreen Samuels talk, we listen. And Doreen Samuels said that, and Dennis all said. Many people really don't even know who Dennis all is. But we can't take anything that Diane Jackson Miller says as any fact or any truth. And it's not that it might be or might not be fact or truth. It's just her whole attitude about it that makes it so tarnished that you don't want to believe her from the beginning. And many of you saw that interview she did with our esteemed, exiting first female superwoman, indomitable Paula Llewellyn, yeah. And Diane Jackson Miller went into that interview with a belief in her mind that she's equal to this woman. And I don't know what nobody wants to say. Nobody's equal. Understand that. My mother said you cannot treat everybody the same way. And she never said it as a woman who is, my mother was never ever anti anybody. My mother is the most involved and loving woman I ever know, that just treat everybody with respect. But she says you can't treat everybody the same way. But why? Why, Mama? Why I can't treat everybody the same way? Because some people are more special than others. I never could understand it years after, before I understood it. It's like falling in love. I used to fall in love like every 3 months. I mean, you can't treat everybody the same way, because some people are more special than others. I can't treat everybody the way I treat my grandson. Come on, I can't. I can't treat everybody the way I treat the little piece of crap in here. It was the last one in and the youngest one. And everybody treats him like him is God, so we don't treat him particular way. But Diane Jackson Miller felt for some reason that she's equal to Paula Llewellyn, and to go in there with her snarkiness, this attitude where she lean back and push up her little frowny arm, lean up mouth, and say some crap and do a snarky smile, and think that she's cute and all of that. And it doesn't work for her. It has not done her well. It has damaged her reputation beyond repair, unless she changed some things about it. But Miss Paula, with all the decorum of a tough prosecutor, with all the years and experiences of dirty people, nasty people, or people who believe themselves to be somebody, with all the years of that, smack down Diane Jackson Miller. Smack her down completely and put her in her place. Put her straight in her place. Imagine a journalist get an opportunity to interview the first female director of public prosecution we've ever had, who's now retiring, and she's leaving that public role, and you get a chance to sit down with her, and these are the stupid things you come with. When the history is written, and 20, 30 years from now, our children, our grandchildren, and talking about Paul, when Diane Jackson Miller interview will come up as fodder, as a kind of, okay everybody, class, look at this. This is just for comic relief. And there she is, making a damn ass of herself. And Paula Llewellyn smacking her down and licking her down in all sorts of different kind of way. For her cavalier attitude towards how she talk to the DPP. Once a DPP, always a DPP, so you can call her former DPP, she's still. She's not the DPP anymore, but you still call her DPP. It's like general within the army, yes or no. And it was hard to watch. It was quite hard to watch it, compared to the interview that Paula did with the Nationwide people and other news entities. It was hard to watch, but I'm glad, like you, I am glad that it was Paula Llewellyn that she tried to interview and try to do this nastiness that she does to people, and she got smacked down, because she always playing this game like she performing. She come into an interview like a performance, and there are certain people watching, and she might get a job, so she performing for them like a damn monkey. So she was performing for Massa Mark by wanting to embarrass or ridicule or diminish the worth and the role and the work of Paula Llewellyn. And she was this monkey performing for Massa. See me here, Massa? Yes, watch me now. So, yeah. And come with her nastiness. And it all backfired in her face. And she don't have egg on her face, she have doo-doo on her face. She looks stupid by trying to do that. It's the same thing she did in the debate. Same thing she did trying to prop up Massa in the debate. And we know who you are now, Diane Jackson Miller. And I'm not going to waste any more time with you. And the real reason why I'm not going to waste any more time with you until you do something else stupid, which I am guaranteed you will, because like them, who you are monkeying to, like them, it appears to me that the devil now sits on your shoulder as well. It appears to me that in that interview, the devil was behind you saying, do that. Say that. Say that, man. Yeah, man. Ask her that. Do that little smirty. The devil was telling you to do that. Do that little thing. The devil, you're working with the devil. Diane Jackson Miller. That's how it goes when you hang out with devil people. So the devil have 29 souls now, not 28. Can you working with him? Clearly. Because how you behave is unexplainable. No, nobody would get that. No journalism student could sit down and watch that and think to themselves, what? I don't get it. Why? Just like the young woman that interviewed Paul Buchanan on some program, when talk about them take him van and them take him gun, and Michelle pointed out to me that she never asked him, so did you get it back? Did you get back the van or your brand new whatever Prado? Your brand new Prado, 2021 Prado. Did you get it back? Did you get back your gun? She just make him sit down and talk that crap, and then she just move on as if, I don't know what was the interview about. Was it just for comic? Because she didn't ask him that. So that's Dean Jackson Miller trying to play to our bosses like a monkey, and got left without a banana, like monkeys that perform that way usually do. So there. And that I have nothing more to say about Dean Jackson Miller and that. The people of Jamaica have chosen their government. The people of Jamaica have chosen their government. They choose Jamaica. That's what I'm saying. Choose Jamaica, and they chose Jamaica. In spite of the corruption campaign ran by the Rise United camp, headed by Mark Gully. And I've said to many people when they talk about corruption is that corruption is not about just somebody thief some money, or I give him a contract for build a road there. I tell him, so I'm done with the road, if you give me money, so him give me 200 grand. That's not just that is not just corruption. There are other aspects to corruption that are more dangerous than that. So here we are. Every election cycle, at least since 2007, that I know of, the People's National Party have a relationship with the Venezuelan government. First it was Hugo Chavez, and now it is with Mr. Maduro. And my information received by me is that the Venezuelan president, Mr. Maduro, gave the People's National Party $12 million US dollars. 12 million US dollars. 2 billion plus Jamaican dollars to the Rise campaign. The person, the spokes for foreign affairs, is Angela Bromberg at the time, and she collect, I understand from my sources, the 12 million US dollar. Venezuela is a place that was one of the richest places in South America, but now enjoys like 81% unemployment. The people of Venezuela, 50% of that 81% are in extreme poverty. Women can't find sanitary pads. There are videos of women saying they have to be using paper. Them can't find milk for their children, basic food items, but sanitary pads. Think about that. Can't find that. Shortage of basic food items. And this man, Mr. Maduro, took up 12 million US dollar and gave to the risers. Just gave it to them. 12 million. Now I want to tell me something. Here is this country in utter poverty. Women can't find sanitary pads and have to be using paper and whatever it is that they can find, according to some interviews done by Great Britain News and I don't think it's the BBC, I think it's ITV that did it. And him took up $12 million and give to the Rise campaign. 12 million US dollars. These are the people who for the last 5 years were hounding the Prime Minister, shouting at the top of their lungs that him corrupt. Shouting for anybody who would listen, for them to hear them say, the Prime Minister corrupt. These people in the 81% unemployment in the country, women can't find sanitary pad, and them accepted 12 million US dollars to run them campaign. Half of which didn't go in the campaign, of course. They spent a whole lot of money spent. They couldn't have achieved those seats without the money, which means that they have to start saving from now for the next election, because they're going to need to double that money, because they're going to discover in very short order that there is no winning coming their way without spending. People not enthused and people not motivated to vote for them unless them can get paid. And people now know that them can get paid. So them need to go build up that war chest. But here's where I'm taking this, and I want to understand it very well. Mr. Maduro and a whole heap of hot water and Mr. Trump. Whole heap of hot water. Mr. Trump have planned all kind of things for him. And this year, this $12 million, all the State Department must know about that already. And must know about food corruption. How they take $12 million from a country where women can't find pads. How they take $12 million from a country where mothers can't find milk for children. And who not talk about people corrupt? Who not talk about people corrupt? This is international thing. This is not no secret nothing. This is not me beating up anybody. This is me saying to you, I don't even know if it's legal for government to give political campaign money from foreign countries. I don't know. I do not know. I know it's illegal in America. Although Trump get $10 million from a Turkish man in 2024. I don't even know if it's legal. Maybe it is. Maybe it isn't. But Uno tell me, people, Uno, we are going to talk about who are and corrupt and corruption and make a vote out this corrupt government. Uno really know what corruption is. This, where women cannot find sanitary pads. That is corruption. Where they can't get milk for babies. That's how poor they are, dilapidated they are. And then people that take 12 million and share them among themselves. Buy whatever seat they need to buy. Share up the rest for themselves. I'm not talking about corruption. Pick the beam out of the eye first. Because this is the highest heights of corruption. To take $12 million from a poor, pauperized country that Mr. Trump is about to rain hell upon. Him can't escape Mr. Trump, brother. And when Mr. Trump hear this, now Trump is not a man with lots of empathy towards anything to do with women or anything. But when he hear this, he's going to make a big deal about it. It might even be a reason for him to go do what plan for do to Mr. Maduro. When him hear about this, because trust me, it's going to get to him. That's going to take $12 million from a country that can't find sanitary pads for its young women, and they are suffering. I'm going to take $12 million. And to add insult to injury, to even make it even worse, we never even take the 12 million and spend it on the poor people in here, so. Never ever spend it on them. Buy some seeds, pay some people to vote for you, but never spend it to have most of it still for yourself. That is what one would call corruption. I think that is the height of any kind of corruption that you could possibly talk about. You get money I didn't spend with poor people. Some of the poorest people in this country are PMP diehards. And I tell you, in South Manchester is not a pauperized constituency. It's not. Poor people there, whole heap, most of them are PMP. It was the most I have never seen. I've traveled this country. South Manchester was a first for me. But I've never seen anything like it. Most of the poor people, poor people, dirt poor people in South Manchester are PMP diehards. Them there. Come vote for me. Or they went out and vote for Bunting. They're diehard. Don't live nowhere. Roof a tear off. Boy, they go to school. Well, last year. Can't explain themselves why. I'm going to get 12 million of a poor country money. Take it for yourself. Take it by votes. You don't call people corrupt? You don't call people corrupt? I'm going to hold on for the rest of my argument where that is concerned. Because I'm absolutely certain. I am certain as I'm sitting here that we're going to come back with that foolishness about corruption. And we're going to be ready for you all. We'll come with it. So I'm going to park that Venezuelan argument for now. One of the reasons why I was so passionate about my support for the Jamaican government was not because I am against that part of my support was not to do with being against Mark Gully and being against the Right United camp that have captured the PMP. That is a belief system that I have. That government must be allowed to be government. In other words, the people elect their government. They expect certain services from their government. But there is a class of people, particularly the punditry class and the civil society class, and those who believe that they know more than us, that class, who believe it and take it for real to be their sovereign duty to beat down government. Government has a right to be government, to do the things that government do, to get things done on behalf of the people without having a ton load of people who have one vote and pretend to have a group of people behind them when it's just them, and pretend to know more than everybody else, coming on TV and writing in the newspaper about all that government is not doing and should be doing, and we want this and this must be done. Want to cut it out? Oh no, cut it out, because that will not be tolerated. We elect a government and they better do what the people elected them to do, and we don't want nobody to breathe down them neck about all the things that UNO want done and UNO things should be done. Now let me clarify that very quickly for you. We all have a right to hold our government to account. So if we see something now go wrong, we must get about and say, your government, you not do this. Did it say you're going to do that? Or at this me want, and at this me want done. Like the burger people, them want them Gully fix. Like that. Huh? Like some people want some houses. Like some people want them water. Like people want access to the beach. People want to talk to your government about that. But it's that class of people will get up day in and day out and form groups on television and write paper and keep up and slap this by YouTube to and talk about government now do this and the government will do that and things that them going to lead protests against government to them fight people. It's uno why this country not wasn't moving forward for quite a while, you know. Uno will believe the five of uno have more entitlement than the rest of us. So every time government try to help poor people, every time government try to move towards doing something for poor people, the whole on the gang up and come up on TV and talking about fiscal management. And the economy is on a downturn. Government is spending too much money. Mr. This is very fiscally conservative. So, but government cannot be bullied, run down after, and taken set on, and beaten up on by the punditry class, by the civil society class, by the rich upper class who believe that somebody owns something when the government trying to do its job on the day they are trying to create mischief. Only for one, why this country not gone further? Oh no, because government used to capitulate too. No? As you know, open them up, government start rapping them like my idiot. I hope Mr. Wallace knows him not to do that. I hope Mr. Wallace knows him not to do that. Not to chat from you. You don't have one vote like me. You don't have one vote like every one of us. You don't have a right to hold the government accountable. Yo, Mr. Wallace, you say you don't do that, boss man. What go on? How soon that will happen? But when in a farm with yourself in small groups and have panel discussions and start chat about we like we are nobody and uno more important than we not going to take that crap from you. And that me could know. Me not take that. Me not going to take that from you on behalf of the people them when we talk to across the whole of Manchester. We not going to take that crap. You'll be amazed to know how people feel about uno and that foolishness. It pained my heart. It did on the day of the inauguration not to see the 28th there to welcome Mr. Holness, to congratulate him. It pained my heart even more when they never turned up for the food and the drink, which was pretty good. I don't tell me lightly about that, you know. Don't remember. Jamaica is a special place, a magical place. And one of the things that makes it so special and magical is when we meet to eat and drink and dance. That's where the magic takes place. And except for Chris Brown, none on the show up. And it pained me because I asked myself the question, why? When did we reach here so where the vanquished don't feel like them can come over and have a drink with the victors? When? Peter Phillips would have come, Michael Manley would have come, PJ would have come. What happened? What happened, Natalie Nita Edley? What happened, Denise Daly? What happened, Paul Well? What happened, Julian? What happened, Fitz Jackson? What? What happened? Uno Massa would have been vexed. He would have been upset for you to come over, come hang out with some PMP and some JLP people, make some JLP woman wine pound and go out with that kind of things. That is the magic of our politics that Uno totally have destroyed. Uno risers, Uno leader, Uno destroyed that the nice part of our politics and create an enemy structure right here. So right now, make everybody feel like the man. When Mark Walking, Desmond McKenzie and Horace Shaw was trying to have a conversation with him, he was not amused. They were laughing and doing a shoulder thing with him and a little backslapping. He was anxious to move on. He never wanted to be standing there with them. It pained me, but I didn't see them. Really, really pained me. I said, crap. I must be naive at my age. I must be naive. Do you really tell me that? Them vex. So them didn't show up. What is it them vex about? Them vex because of what they did. Because they make people believe that somebody thief for the election. Them started out with their loss to say that there were irregularities and are like, we're going to parliament and repeat that. Go into the parliament, go repeat that. Irregularities, shenanigans. Go in the parliament, go repeat that. Because in the parliament, you have to present the evidence. Go repeat that in the parliament. And because of their own disposition, the way they have taken the thing, the vitriol they meted out throughout the whole 4 years, they couldn't bring themselves to come. And people like Fitz Jackson and Julian and all the people there, they couldn't come either because they mix up in like the devil and play a romper room round there with them. They couldn't come. They couldn't show up to come have a laugh, have a drink, take a picture with a labor right. Hang out to the Prime Minister, make photographers sketch it up. You couldn't do it. And it's not because you don't think that you wouldn't welcome. You would have been welcome. It's because of what you do. You wouldn't feel comfortable in coming because of what you did. It's guilt that prevented all of you from coming. Angela, she came into the swearing like a thief in the night. She looked like Alibaba wench. She looked like Alibaba whore. Squeeching to a car coming on the back. Madam Massa had already stood up front of my Natalie and Tony Hilton. She was just walking in and nobody was saying anything to her. Nobody recognized her. And people don't recognize them, but the devil walk with them, you can't recognize them. So nobody to say, Miss Angela or Miss nobody to say that. No, and even if they recognize her, nobody did. Because of the vitriol that on the throat here in this campaign. All by yourself when they did that. Is it no shame I kill you though? One couldn't show up. Shame the way on the behave towards Andrew Wallace and his wife. So they couldn't show up. And Jamaica is worse off for it. This inauguration ceremony, which is part of our culture and our history and our wasn't the same because the opposition party took the campaign into a level that they themselves can't stomach, so them couldn't come drink and eat. Them couldn't make them probably vomit. And it pained me to my core because I keep asking myself, when did we get here, sir? In 4 years, we jumped from being a government and an opposition party that shows respect and level of smiles and laughter and even friendship so that the people can see, to a government all by itself and a bunch of people over there, so pedophiles, rapists, women beaters, women haters, slave owning and some slave owners over there, sir, doing all kinds of things and can't show them face over here, sir, where God sits, them hanging out over there, sir, in the devil's lair. Can't budge, come over here, sir, over here, sir, too bright and lighty. And see over them darkness, and they didn't show up. And history, again, will judge them for that. They didn't show up. And I realized they couldn't. Shame was killing them. Chris Brown showed up. And Chris Brown wasn't beating a body. And he wasn't hanging out with them. He was busy with some people in a Southeast Mirror trying to win him seat, and he did. Not with any help from them. Time never get none of the Venezuelan money. And this is what it came to. So the opposition, I hear one of them, I heard that one of them say that the opposition is not going to obstruct the government. The opposition should endeavor its best not to be obstructionists. Because I am telling you here and now tonight, and whether you want to hear me or believe me or not, the Jamaican people are not stand for it. The Jamaican people are not going to stand for it because guess what? People don't vote for people. People vote against people. Do you hear me? People vote against people, and 61% of the Jamaican people decide that there is nothing to vote against. Don't kill yourself and wrap up your head in all kind of different ways to find out why we have such low voter turnout. Don't bother baffle yourself about it. People will come out when they feel there's something to vote against. They never come out to come support nobody. Them good, them happy, them contented, them government doing well, them trust them government, them trust Mr. Holness. There was no reason for them to come out, because if they did, it would be against. And history tells us that it would be against him. There was no reason to come out for Uno. Uno couldn't get them to come out against him. Don't work up on yourself in a sweat about why 61%. Nobody try analyze it. There's nothing to analyze. Nobody no need to go try to figure out why we have voter apathy. We have no voter apathy. People will come out and vote against something when that something presents itself. They will. They have done it before. They will do it again. Them good. Yeah. What Mr. Holness go on, man? People are telling them, I can't come vote, but I tell you. Mr. Holness go on. Mr. Holness go on. I go on good. The PNP people meet him on the road and tell him I go on good. So I don't know in which universe Uno thought that Uno could get people to come vote against the Holness. I don't even know which universe Uno thought Uno could win Eastern St. Andrew. And Uno could beat Mrs. Holness. Uno have no idea how baffling all of that is to my small mind. I try not to think about it because a basic school mind me have, and that will give me a headache. So I don't think too much about it. They did not come out to vote against Mr. Holness. So don't bother big up on the chest over there and think so to know some secret that we don't know. Nobody came out to vote against Mr. Holness. The people who came to vote for Mr. Holness. The people who had to buy them. Yes, man, Mr. Holness and team spend money too. We spend money too. We did. But we never have to buy, $20 million worth of vote. Huh? They couldn't come out of Eastern Westmoreland with no more than 1,500 votes if he never spent that Venezuelan money and Matalan money. Could not. He and years a year spend about $70 million on that day. God knows when spent before. We're going to talk about some of that when spent pan. Because we have some things to talk about later. If you want to stay with me, if you not go too long to tell me I'm going to stop. They were not going to come out and vote against anything. Everything we want to present to them was not reason for them to vote against them government. They chose Jamaica. 28 bamboo, damn lie. Man is a thief and a cook, damn lie. Man struggle and work hard for whatever have. Damn lie. There's no evidence of him doing any wrongdoing. None. You couldn't sell them that for them to come out against him. Couldn't. Because they weren't going to come out for you. Them not trust you. Them don't like you. You had to bite locks to come out. I would know that was the plan. Because they know they couldn't get the PNP base to just come out just so. They weren't going to roll out for you. It was got to be the money. And Nikisha Burchell, lucky she had Cataloop and Welcome Hall. That she could get some labor votes up there to carry her through. Because she spent money up there. She did. She gets over money and she spend it. And she give labor right money. And labor right and give her some votes. And like Omar Davis. That's how the politics work. She couldn't sit down with the money and hope that some PNP people will come and vote against Omar Davis. Or some J people will come and vote against Omar Davis. That was going to happen. She had to spend that money and get them to come out that XPR. That's how it go. There's nobody. So don't worry about the 61%. When there's something for them to vote against, they'll come out, man. You're going to wonder when they'll be there. If they'll be on vacation or something. They had no reason to come out. So they didn't. But there's on the whole demeanor, on the whole campaign, on the wickedness that make you couldn't show up at the inauguration or the lovely concert ceremony and enjoy myself. You couldn't. Because the devil had to stay on a little, layered and do a little devil thing, whatever that is. Government must be allowed to be government. There we go. And opposition, when you're going to be opposing as an opposition, or does him now, who never signed up to be, MP, him wanted to be minister. Him think he was going to be a minister. All of them shenanigans and tomfoolery that he pulled when he was running. You want to come to the parliament and try it, does? Or you're actually going to try and represent the people of South East St. Catherine? Or you're going to come to the parliament with your gimmickry and your tomfoolery and your buffoonery? Or you're going to actually represent the people of South East St. Catherine? If we're not going to criticize government and quarrel with government, we expect to see from you, King Charles III, loyal opposition, alternative suggestions. So if Mr. Wolney say, all right, I think that everybody should read Jane Austen Persuasion. And I'm telling you that if you're into literature and you want to understand Jane Austen writing on her books, this is where to start. Persuasion. So if Mr. Wolney say, we're going to introduce persuasion as a first read, and some people say yeah, and then the opposition say, come, yeah, we like Jane Austen and Jane Austen is a good girl, but we think we should introduce Things Fall Apart. Now if you're not coming with that, so you're going to say, we don't like Jane Austen, we think Jane Austen is old, we think Jane Austen poetry and her words, oh God, they're nice. But we don't think that. We think that Things Fall Apart is much better. That's where we want to see it go. Constructive and in line with Jamaica's development. Because after all, Marky G is the next Prime Minister of Jamaica. Bam, bam, bam. So, constructive criticism, alternative arguments. I am just saying this to you guys in the hope that you don't understand where we're going in. Because this is where we're going. And if we now have a positive opposition who will quarrel about the things that them don't think good enough for the country, but going to present alternative, they're going to have a problem. We'll have a problem. And we don't have the problem. We're like Prime Minister to carry through him look at programs and stuff. And then we don't like the opposition. We say, why we don't like Jane Austen? I love Jane Austen. I love Things Fall Apart too. I'm reading it. Yeah. I don't start reading Persuasion yet. I've read Persuasion before. But I thought I'd get me an advance first edition copy. Because the other one worn. Maybe something else never never seen before. And you must make that criticism to the betterment of Jamaican people. Who don't buy those seats, who don't pay big money for them. Come work. Come work now for the people. Because if that is not your intention, we're going to have a problem. And God knows me know how to have no problem. No, I'm saying, all this, do what I do. Lift Jamaica higher. Carry Jamaica further. I'm going to want Uno. For there I said, well, maybe you should change that. We think that way we are thinking about this. Maybe we should have a discussion about my plan and your plan, see if we can put the two things together. Never know that that's how we have a problem. Big problem we'll have. We are one. And that's all I'm saying about opposition, government, obstructionist, contributing to make it worth the Jamaican people while. Because we tend to forget time and time again that this is not about who. It never ever was, never will be about UNU. So when Nikisha Bird says she talk about you come for old government accountable, go sit your ass down, girl. Go sit in your seat where you get. Go read the Constitution. Go back, go to the archives in the Parliament. Go read some stuff. Get up to date. And then go buy a civics book. Go see if you can get a copy of a civics book. I think I can find one. I could sell you one. For big money. And then go find out something where you come hold government accountable. but hold Mark Gully accountable and Peter Mountain and Dayton Campbell before you start with government accountable. And please, now make we have no problem. Now last week we talked about the biggest losers. All the losers in this election. And I want to repeat, there has never been an election like this. But of all the losers in this election, the biggest loser, by far the biggest loser, was Justice Panton, Greg Christie, the next one named Beresford, and that IC. The biggest losers in this election. The Jamaican people very loudly and very precisely, very clinically tell Uno figure Uno mama. Basically, the Jamaican people in North Trelawney, the Jamaican people in Central Manchester, the Jamaican people in Western St. Mary, the Jamaican people in Northwest St. Anne. Who else? Which one of them constituencies, Miss Kerencia constituency? I can never ever remember it. The Jamaican people in Eastern St. Andrew. The Jamaican people in East Rural St. Andrew. The Jamaican people in West Rural St. Andrew. The Jamaican people in Southwest St. Elizabeth. Southeast St. Elizabeth. And all the rest of St. Elizabeth except Northeast. The Jamaican people in all of St. James except a few in South came out and tell Justice Panton and Greg Christie figure on a map. 5 years, 3 years, 2.5 years, 2 years, 1.5 years, 1 year. Uno, these gentlemen whom the parliament appointed a body for them to oversee and hold public servants accountable with the public purse and other things. And these gentlemen took it upon themselves. They got together among themselves on the instructions of Bunting and Omar Davis and Mark Golding, who wrote that law, and said to them, say, and them sit down and them said, okay, we'll get it. And don't worry, guys. Don't worry, Massa. We got you. We got you, Massa. Don't worry, sir. Massa, sir. Okay, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We got you. We're going to get him for you. And they went after the Prime Minister like their lives depended on it. The entire country was embroiled. Everywhere you turn, I see. Some people remember when I'm saying the eye sitting and the eye sitting and the eye something, you go around here, people trying to remember what some of it is. Every day you wake up, I see this, I see that, I see said, I see did, I see. And they went to the lowest form when they wrote a report that included the Prime Minister's parents. They wrote a report and sent it to the Parliament and called up the Prime Minister's parents in it because them have a bank book with $300 a night. I'll get more than that, but I'm going to put that $300, but it was more than that. Them signed the report. There was nothing wrong. It's illegitimate that the Prime Minister's parents have this bank book and this money. But no, having found that out and having established that the Prime Minister's parents were good citizens who were not involved in nothing, them still decide That they put them name in it. Now you tell me, them still decide, having not found anything. But we find two back book, you know. Yeah, man, the one having the Prime Minister's mother, and the one having the Prime Minister's father. Yeah, look at looking at it. Oh, I'm a $500. She have $600. And the money put in there. She say, Andrew, let's put the money in there. Look, no, I'm put the money in there now. I'm getting the money out there, yeah, and parents to draw $10,000, yeah. Oh, he did establish trying my baby. Oh, okay then, I'm gonna write it. I put the parents in the night. And the Jamaican people answered on the ass on September 3rd. You, Justice Panther, oh, you came to the limelight again because Paula told us how vindictive and petty you are, Justice Panther. Paula told us that you're vindictive and petty and behave like a little girl, a little short ass, nappy head girl. That Paula said something about you, you get up from beside her, don't want to sit on beside her. But look at you two. Look at you to Justice Panther. You can't talk to Paula Llewellyn. There's never a day that you could talk to Paula Llewellyn. There's no day you can't talk to Paula Llewellyn. Paula would knock you over, tower over you, bully you down to sit down and all of that. Okay? Your Paula was in high school, you have to run a night every day. If you and Paula was at school, you couldn't go up and play field and Paula out there. You look a vindictive man. So we know you're like a vindictive, nasty character man. So here what I'm going to do to you now, Justice Panther. The Jamaican people already settled matter with you. They rebuked you. All of you. You ugly bulldog Christian, you Panther. The Jamaican people reject you know, and rebuke you know, and tell you to your face how you liar, how you wicked. Them tell you know, one vote. I'm choosing Jamaica. And that was their answer to you guys. Through the lying and the wickedness and the witch hunt against the Prime Minister and the parents. Yes. But you Justice Panther is a church man. And I think we should visit your church. And we advertise what your church, where's your church is and which church is it. But I'm going to visit your church. Just come in and sit down and watch you in action. I want to figure if you and God have any kind of relationship. I want to see if you have repented, if you have confessed, and if you have asked God for forgiveness for what you did to the Prime Minister and his parents. I want to see that for myself, Justice Panther. So I come into your church. You don't know when I come, but I come. You see me sleeping in one side. Because me now come in incognito. When I come in, everybody will see me. So everybody knows that you come check out. We just want to see. Come here, come with the light of God. I want to see if God forgive you. I want to see if you didn't ask for forgiveness. I want to see that. And then I want to see if God forgave you. And if you repented, and if you're sorry, I want to see it. Let's say I'm not going to quarrel with you before you treat the Prime Minister. It was badly, but he was the Prime Minister of the country. You're a citizen, you can beat him up if you want, as a private citizen, but you're using the perch of the Integrity Commission that you're supposed to be guarding with a little bit of integrity that everybody think you had, but you don't have. You didn't. So now beat you up for that. Who beat you up for and why I'm coming to church? Because you went after the Prime Minister's parents. I need some kind of satisfaction for the Prime Minister's parents. Some kind of satisfaction. I just want to see if you prayed, if you asked for forgiveness, if you were forgiven, if you accept the responsibility of your wrong, and if God is shining his light on you and say, I forgive you, son. I want to see for myself if that is the case. So I come visit the church. So the IC were the losers of all. Ladies and gentlemen, Venetia Phillips, and that when you come your yard for the onion, if you send it, come give me. We never heard of Andrew's Angels. We don't know Charlie's Angels, right? Oh yes, we all know Charlie's Angels. But I'm talking about the original Charlie's Angels. Who were the original Charlie's Angels? Kate Jackson. Gosh, who the original Charlie's Angels? Anybody, I don't remember the original Charlie's Angels. Tell me. I know Kate Jackson was one. You know? Kick-ass Kate Jackson. Kate Jackson was beautiful. But what we have now are 9 women. Ten women that I'm now calling Andrew's Angels. Tova Hamilton, Carencia Morrison, Rhoda Moy Crawford, Dana Morris, there's an next name cheat, we can't bother. Kamina Johnson Smith, Crystal Lee, Juliet Cuthbert, and Juliet Holness, and Favor Williams. We can just call them Juliet C and Juliet H. Kind of my angels. And Favor Williams. Andrew's Angels. And these, ladies and gentlemen, are now the guiding light and the guardian force around Andrew Holness. I want to say to Rhoda Crawford first. Yes, Rhoda, they did say nothing good can come out of grey ground, but something good came out of grey ground. And it was you. Something good came out of grey ground. But Andrew's Angels, Tova, Rhoda, Juliet C, and Favor. The PMP are very disappointed that them never win a seat. They're very disappointed. They were hung up and quite sure that they would have taken these seats. So you can imagine the big disappointments. And what I want to say to you, the Angels, is this. You have government job. And Mr. Olney set this up quite nicely as not only a succession planning. It's not just you, they are the guys too. But them is not no angels. But succession planning and preparing all of you to be, the best of yourselves. But I want to remind you, those of you who have to be elected by the people, Crystal Lee, Rhoda, and Favor, and Juliet, and the two Juliet, and Tova, I want to remind you that you have a constituency. And your first responsibility is to the people that elected you, the people who elected you. That's your first responsibility. And you're not going to get yourself all backed down with ministerial work and duty and traveling and being on the phone and all kind of foolishness and not having discussions with your people. You're not going to make that happen, are you? That's my warning to you. But I want to give you that title of being Andrew's Angels. There. That's it. There was nothing magical to it. Or nothing great to it. It was a thing, It was just a thing that I thought would be nice. But I want to highlight Rhoda. Because Rhoda started with every other against her. In the local election, she lost the only councillor she had. The only councillor she had, she lost that councillor. The tides were swimming against Rhoda. And she rose to the occasion. And Donovan Mitchell, that man with 600 baby man and 700 children, who he doesn't know, lost votes in every division and lost his division. God is wonderful. So all hail to Rhoda. But here it is, Rhoda. Again, do the government work. But remember, it is the people of Central Manchester that elected you. And your first priority, your first commitment is to them. Don't want you hear people telling me out, oh Rhoda, now come down there, Rhoda busy. She be America, she be Canada, and she be Iceland, and she be Germany, and she be the Amalfi Islands. Look after your people, or they will jump on you. Alright? That's what I have to tell you. Now, we're getting down to the nitty-gritty. Am I boring you yet? Should I wrap up now? Tell me. Everybody want me to wrap up now? Tell me now, man. Talk to me now. I don't understand, You want me to wrap up now? We can't end now and come back next week if we don't want to. Everybody good? Nah, that's see now. Everybody good? Alright. What? What is that? I don't know what that is. Alright. Now, the Prime Minister have appointed Keith Duncan to the Senate. And Keith Duncan is the eldest son to Donald Keith Duncan. We know him as DK Duncan. And I see where some people are saying some things about Keith Duncan's appointment to the Senate and about Keith Duncan himself. I don't know Keith Duncan to be any PMP. That's the first thing. Keith Duncan was very active and supportive of Omar Davis's candidacy for president of the PMP. I don't even know why. But he was. Having been appointed to the Senate by the Prime Minister, it is giving some PMP people angst, and some of them has gone as far as saying that Keith Duncan is an independent senator. So I want to set the record straight tonight for a number of things. Keith Duncan is not an independent senator. He was appointed by the government. He's a government senator. But he's a government senator who's an independent thinker. And he does have a mind of his own. For God's sake, Mr. Duncan. You know them not have a mind of their own? He does. But he's a government senator. And for those people who having angst about it and about many other things, I would like to remind you of a couple of things. I missed the opportunity to ask DK Duncan why, when to. Every time I meant to, but I never got around to it, to ask him why he went down to Tivoli and addressed Edward Seaga Constituency Conference, and why did he join the NDM. I think I know why he joined the NDM when Bruce was the head of the NDM. But I never got around to ask him about the whole Tivoli, going to Tivoli thing. But DK Duncan he joined the NDM because he never felt the PJ Patterson PNP was not welcoming to him and his idea and his history. And I don't think that he felt that he could be a part of that PNP, and he was out there. So when Bruce formed the NDM and invited him, he went and joined the NDM, as far as I know. The Seaga invited him to Tivoli to come address his conference. It's something I never get to ask him about. I've always been curious about it. But I remember one thing that he said at that conference, and afterwards, when the media asked him, he said that I was never a PNP. I am a socialist. DK Duncan said that. Donald Keith Duncan said, no, I was never a PNP. I was a socialist. I am a socialist. That's what DK Duncan said. So, why the angst about Keith Duncan being a government senator when he has no reason, none at all, to want to support the Mark Golding, Peter Bunting, Rice campaign? When everything about his own business hinged on that 18-year government of PNP and Omar Davis as finance minister, that his business couldn't get to move in a particular direction because of that PNP and that party. Why would he want to commit himself to them? Why? Why would he? I'm not going to say what those things are. I don't think it's my place to say what those things are. But Keith Duncan is a businessman. And there were some rumors at some point saying that he don't think the PNP is that business friendly, or maybe it's just him. Maybe use DK Duncan fat to fry him. Why shouldn't he? Why shouldn't he be a government senator? Why shouldn't he choose Jamaica? Why shouldn't he support the Prime Minister? I want to cut it out, man. Because we don't have this notion in our head that everybody who used to be PNP or said PNP, in spite of how you treat them, run them out, treat them badly, you have this expectation that they should continue to be PNP. But not everybody a fanatic. It's not everybody living a cult. Some people can actually think for themselves. Some people can actually differentiate commitment to one thing and that thing commitment to them. Some people can actually do that. And maybe, just maybe, that's what Keith Duncan think. That his business prosper and grew under JLP administration. And since that, he now have another chance to make another contribution to his country after his business have so contributed to the financial stability and growth of Jamaica. Him now can serve in another capacity. What is wrong with you? Why not fighting and clawing at everybody who will walk away from you? People leaving, people walking away, people texting all over the resistance, finding out how can they join. It's an amazing thing happening within the last couple of days. I don't know where that come from. Now go ask Vinette, Amoy, I want to go on. Because people texting she, people texting Michelle, people texting, how can we join the resistance? I don't know. Phone argument is still quarrel with people who leave and beat down people who leave and people who Mark Gully saying push out the poisonous ones them. Men saying push out the poisonous ones. Why the quarrel? Let people go on with them and go in peace. Nobody now look a war with none of you. But why you not catch on a perch? Is that the only thing you have to do? Is it that you don't have the brain power to talk to the Jamaican voters on a level that would give them a understanding what it is about and see if they can change their mind? Is it that? Is it that the only thing you can do is beat down those who walk away? Because if that is the only thing you can do, then everybody is right. The fourth term is loading. Without a doubt. If Dayton Campbell and Mark Golding game plan is to say to the fool dunce bloggers, go after Karen Cross, go after 411, go after Vegas, go after JPU, go after Munchibi, go after Peria, go after Phoenix, go on after Dujan. If that is the only instruction you're getting, I'm sorry to have to break this to you, but it means that them not the useful now. Them just recognize as being dunce and foolish and quarrelsome and make noise and cuss bad and cuss people. So them they couldn't go on to that. Because, God forbid, should they have one who don't even know about the gate there, much as to actually go through the gate. So them happy with have Uno beating down and going on as if Uno still fighting for something. I don't know what. It is baffling to me. What is it Uno quarreling with us about? Because we are arguing, all of those names that I just called, we are arguing at a level that Uno incapable of coming up to. Uno can't seem to come up to this level. Uno stuck down there, so I'm trying to drag us down there. I will not come down there. See me, you're white and weird. Can't go in a mud. Never like mud from me a picnic. Come to think me too nice to go in a mud. So them setting out to come go after us, while other people want to join the resistance. I mean, I get it. But then again, a lot of things I don't really get. Maybe me the dance one. Could be. But we're going after, coming after us. We're after Vegas. We're after Natalie, JPU. We need not come after Michelle. I'm not going to lick anybody who come after Michelle. I'm telling her that. I don't have nothing to say when they come after me. When they go after Michelle, I'm going to lick her down. You better prepare yourself for that. Learn that. All of you better learn that. You're going after Amoy. You're not going after the teacher. We are educate our young ones and preparing them for the bright future ahead of them in Jamaica. We don't go after the teacher because she enough, because she choose Jamaica. We don't build up lies because we don't have nothing else to say. But the question that I have to ask is, why? We lose the election, we lose on the slogan, time come, we lose on the damn song, we lose everything. And God has now put upon you more punishment. On the thing 28 seat is some kind of accomplishment that God has granted you. No, it is more punishment. Yes, remember I explained it to you why it is more punishment. Alright, God said, when you want to parliament, come. You and you come. You and you come too. And you. How much we have now? 24. What do you think? You too. And you too. Alright, we have 28. When you go on now, go in the parliament. Sit down over there. So, over the opposition benches. And look over the government benches. And when you sit in the opposition benches and look over the government benches, I want you to think about this. Because this is God saying this to you. So this is the worst kind of punishment. You saw 28 hours looking over the government benches. So near. So near. And yet, so far away. That is a wicked kind of punishment from the God Almighty Himself. Yeah, man, you want to go parliament? Come, Dr. Dawes. Come, wave the lines. Come with the two idiots that run over. Come you. Come Dwayne Vaz where I carry pussy feelings for Julian Chang and I try to beat up the woman. Come you. You too, here, Niels. Come you, no come too. Come, Nikisha Burchell. 28 seat. Opposition benches. Look over there, sir. Over there, sir. That is government benches. Oh, look. So near and yet so far away. Now that is what you call classic God punishment. And the more you come at us, is the worse it's gonna get for y'all. True. Because you have to go save double money. Because come next time around, it's going to be a wicked kind of punishment for you. But God, in His ultimate wisdom, say, come, 28. I'm going to give him the 20. And don't tell me that God is not a comedian, because God is. 28 bank book. A man who has 28 bank book. The man has 28 bank book. Can you imagine 28 bank book? Look at us, a 28 bank book. Them same have 28 bank book. You use a 28 bank book about 28 bank book. Yeah, 28 I over there. God is a man with a sense of humor. 28 sitting over the opposition side, looking at the government side, so near, but yet so far away. God is watching you from a distance. So there we go. All right, we're coming down to the final, man. Don't leave me yet. We're coming down to the final. Now, Mr. Oldest, my Prime Minister, my Member of Parliament, how are you, sir? I saw you in New York and going up and down and going like you're sweet and you're young. Yeah, you're sweet and you're young and you're going that kind of thing, and the CARICOM people, them are fawn all over you and all kind of. I saw the Prime Minister of Canada looking all flustered to meet you, you know, and everybody else looking all flustered. Let me tell you something about international people and how they view elections. All of them view elections the same way. You come out of your country a winner for a third term, which was unlikely, and after all the onslaught that went against you, and them see you walking in, over them want to be a part of you, man. Them want to shake your hand, them want to take picture with you, them want to talk to you, man. Andrew Holness is a star. No, I lie, me I tell you, not a star. Andrew Holness is a superstar. I want to make him a superstar. I know we. Uno made him a superstar. We just want to make him win. We just just want to make him all right and to deliver it for the Jamaican people. But Uno went above and beyond duty and created this massive superstar mystique around the Prime Minister. He just walk up and down in New York like him own New York. You think I'm the governor of New York? Look at Carney's face, and Carney was just beside himself. That's the Prime Minister from Canada. Beside himself in being in the same space with Andrew Holness. Not to mention the Caribbean leaders then. Oh, them can't believe it, man. Them can't believe it, man. Huh? Not only did he win term against all of this, but him look shine and angelic and good. And I mean, it's one should take a bow. You risers, all around, Justice Panton, Ugly Christie, Paris Ford, Ugly Buchanan, the British white man, all around, take a bow, man, clap for yourself. Let's give them a big I'm going to turn their superstar. Yeah? And that is it. So, him go there and do all of that. Now, Mr. Prime Minister. Yeah, I hear you. I don't know, but if you say so. Mr. Prime Minister, for the last, I don't remember when the increase in salary for members of parliament. I don't remember when. What year, what month, I don't quite remember when they had that increase. But one of the things that Mark Gully, how would you send my voice note? One of the things, you have to write to me. I can't listen to voice note while I'm on the live. One of the things that Mark Gully and is Rise United people were doing while on the campaign trail was to make a big fuss about the increase in salary for members of parliament or parliamentarians or politicians. And they should be paid well. It's a whole heap of work. Do you know how hard it is to talk to a nigger who call you a kind of name and I go on with all kind of things by you? Do you know how hard it is to climb some hill and go across some river just to see some people to do something, to hold a conversation? Do you know how hard it is to talk to Jamaican people when they want something and go on bad? Our politicians should be paid. And when that came out about the salary increase, Massa Mark led a protest. He led a protest. Well, no, he never led a protest. There was a protest by some people and he got joined them to say that the salary increase for our parliamentarians was too high. And he joined them. And he beat up the Prime Minister about the increase in salary and the increase and he go out with peer things. And then them overcrowd the airspace, the social media, the mainstream media, with that whole thing about the increase. And the one thing that got lost in all of that was that the Prime Minister did not take the increase. So while Mark Gully has been collecting $25 million per year, the Prime Minister was still collecting his $9 million. That's an next lie that them tell the Jamaican people. And thank God there were a lot of vessels on social media that God used to beat back those lies. The Prime Minister was collecting $9 million while Mark Gully was doing absolutely nothing for Jamaica. Nothing for Jamaica. This British man and collecting 25 million. 25 million every year. And the Prime Minister get fee look at 9. And so, pardon me, Mr. Prime Minister, everybody calling for you to take your full salary. And I'm going to join that call tonight, but with a different purpose. I want you to take your salary, son. Whether it's 23 or 25 or 28, whatever the millions are, I want you to take it. Or you collect your salary. Not only because you deserve it, but because you have things to do with some of it. You have a whole heap of little people friends out in the country. Everywhere you go, there's a whole heap of little people that hold up in your pants. A ball out, Andrew, come. Why? They're going to come in. I'm going to see the Prime Minister. And him come. I'm never going to see him. I'm going to see him. And him leave. Andrew. Where Andrew there, come? Jimmy is Andrew, come. Now go there. Who man are come? Who are the little people friend? And middle little people. Some 12 and 13 and 14 year old. The 14-year-olds will be on the voters list in the next election. So will the 15-year-olds. There are some 10 and 11 and 12 who will also soon be eligible to vote. And they will never ever, all of them who met you, the Prime Minister, will never forget that day. I promise you they will never forget the day they met the Prime Minister. Never. They'll never live it down. And if there are pictures, they will have it. And they will boast. And then friends will see it. There will be local celebrities. And I suspect they are. Especially the two local one in Northwest Manchester. The one with the yellow shots that looks like an input on him shot. Nobody couldn't dress him that morning. He might say Andrew, I might put on him own shots. And it kind of lean and twisty, but him good. Yeah? You have a whole pile of people, friends, sir. You have all the videos, your people have all the videos, and you know the places that you went to. Take your salary. Help some of your local people, friends, them. Make sure them alright. Who are high school, who need a book, who need something else, whatever. Help some of your local people, friends. You don't have to tell nobody. Just do it. Just do it. Help some of your local people, friends, them. And whole heap of them. You don't have the videos. You don't have the pictures, you don't have the locations. Help some of your local people, friend. Take your salary and help some of your local people, friend. Because it is there that the good Lord sent to carry you home. It was them that did it. Those little angels that the good Lord equipped with every angelic power and send them to you. To hold on by your foot, for you to meet them, for you to touch them. Take your salary, sir, and help some of them as much as you can, in any way you can. The Prime Minister, sir, you, sir, is not only the Prime Minister. You're the Commander-in-Chief. You're the Father-in-Chief. You're the Uncle-in-Chief. You're the big brother, little brother-in-chief. You may be even grandfather-in-chief for those who have children early. Quick, all of that. You, sir, is the leader of the country. PNP part of the country, JLP part of the country. Every PNP that voted for PNP, every PNP that voted for a JLP candidate, every JLP that voted JLP. You know, no JLP who voted PNP. No JLP never voted for PNP. Well, yes, there was a couple of them. But everyone of them, and you're the leader of the country. These are your people. Nobody else own them. I'm going on the people here. I'm an opposition leader. He must sit down across the side of the bench and look up and government. Him can't do crap. Nothing but being opposition leader and rub him out and chat crap and want to look like him cute sometimes, chatting foolishness. Let's hope that them don't do that. So you need to take your salary and be all that you are. Your prime ministership is not just prime minister. Your prime ministership is way beyond that. Help your local people, friend them. Look for them. Don't look for no reason. You don't have to have no reason to go look for them. You don't need a camera to go look for them. Just go look for them and take 2 pictures. Keep it and do a video and keep it to show later on. Managing government, balancing constituency. Those are the 2 objectives of any government. To manage government and balance constituencies. You can't separate government duties from constituency duties. You can't separate government work from political work. You can't separate them no matter how much crap somebody well-learned people in this country chat. Nothing goes on. There's no separation between government work and constituency work. It's one in the same. It's constituency elect people to government. So when you plan government things and plan for the damn consequences as well, and make sure consequences are being looked after. I mean, particularly have no good feelings towards those who went out and took the money and voted for those righteous candidates. I don't particularly have anything with them, but there you go. Desmond Mackenzie played a role that I never realized until just recently in this GLP victory, in how he pushed back against the rise people who were coming for Fayetteville and Juliet C and Juliet H. And how Desmond Mackenzie got down and got his act together, being the deputy leader, and put things in place to bring home 3 of Andrew's angels. Big up to Desmond Mackenzie. Now, Julian Chang is a councillor for what? Savlamar, I believe, in Westmoreland. She's a PMP councillor. And she has been experiencing onslaught from the PMP dirty man in the Westmoreland Parish Council, headed by dirty man number 1, Danry Delancey, who everything that, him and the Dan him now realize him them days over of a reign of terror. But Danry Delancey, Dan, and dirty man Dwayne Vaz have been carrying feelings for Julian Chang and making her life miserable in the Westmoreland Parish Council. I don't know what else to say to you, Julian Chang, except cross the floor, go join the JLP, and we'll lick them man the fear. Cross the floor, man. Join the JLP. I will make Dwayne Vaz and Danry Delancey life miserable. And we can't do it without crossing the floor, but I better say across the floor. Cross the floor, man. Go join the JLP. Walk them out. Because them a dirty man. And when them can't get for nasty up a woman, them do dirty man things. All of them. I doubt any of them really have no steady woman or wife. Because them a dirty man. Dwayne Vaz him carry all kind of grievances. Dwayne Vaz look like a handicap. Why would any woman want to sleep with him? Why would a nice woman like Julian Chang want to sleep with you, you nastiness? Look how you look like a handicap. You don't look like a good handicap. I mean, not sure the word from people who have handicap. My apologies. But you know, him not ready. Him look slimy and like him want to be disinfected. And you have feelings to the woman. And I go on with all kind of things. We're coming for you. I have nothing to say about the Norman Scott issue. Absolutely nothing except this. To all the PNP people and people across Jamaica, Norman Scott, who Bunting said is nothing but a common criminal, is the mayor of Spanish Town. But that is not a big thing. It's this one thing I want to tell you. Norman Scott is a vice president of Norman Manley's party that has been taken over by Rise United. I want to make that one sink in for all of you. Let that sink in. Two final things. One final thing that then I want to big up some people, whole heaps of people. And then I'm going to take about 2 or 3 calls, no more than that. I want to talk about choosing Jamaica, briefly. I think it's important for everybody to understand what choosing Jamaica means. So yes, it was the political slogan for the elections. Elections are over. Choosing Jamaica is not a political slogan. Choosing Jamaica is a call for national patriotism. And whether you're PMP or JLP, just like how the JLP teeth is saying about we're marching on to progress, we'd like the PMP them to join with choosing Jamaica. A call to national patriotism. You see that man there on the opposition side, where God brings so near for them to see how far away this thing is from them. God wants them to see it every time them sit down in there. So this is what you get for being dirty, underhanded, treacherous leeches. This is it. So near, but so far away. Choosing Jamaica is a call for national pride, national patriotism. The pride where you, the PMP people, who was marching, now look to your government and your prime minister and embrace and wrap yourself into that idea of choosing Jamaica. Don't go either say you're PMP or you're diehard. Them now do nothing for you. If they had one, them wouldn't do nothing for you. Now them worse can't do nothing for you. And them already, starting with Dawes and Ian Hills, telling people in them constituency that them can keep them promises unless the government give them money. Well, the government will give them $20 million a year. And at the time them not keep the promises, remind them that the government give them $20 million a year. And that them start trying. Ian Hills might tell people, why would do best if the government give you the money? No, that's him telling Uno that we must vote him out the next time. Dawes went to a church and him tell the church, say, all the promises that he made, him know if him can keep them because they never win. So the promises that he was making to Southeast St. Catherine residents and voters was predicated on the argument that should he form government, not that he is representing you, I'm just going to look it for you. I want to Southeast St. Catherine and listen to him. Huh? In the win, so I'm saying can't keep him promise. That's him saying to you, vote me out next time. Don't vote for me. Because I can't provide for you unless I'm in government. Not true. He's getting $20 million a year. Him just don't want to do the work. Figure up, get that $20 million and look more upon it for you. And when they come to you and talk about government and give them money, come out on social, give them the money, come on social media, come tell you. Just put it out. Whether you have a TikTok page, whether you have a Facebook page, and if your MP come on meet and say government and give them the money for clean a drain, or fix a road, or buy some medication, buy 2 tires for your taxi man, or come on social media and put it on it. Now go see. We'll check it out for you. And we'll tell you the truth as to whether government give money yes or no. We're not going to make them escape. And we now going to make them escape. Because them go to Uno to vote for them, thinking that them going to be government. They never intend to serve you. They never intend to be member of parliament. They intended to be ministers of government. So I'm going to find every excuse in the book not to service you. Every excuse in the book not to fill a prescription. Every excuse in the book not to buy 2 tires. Every excuse in the book not to give 2 buckler rum for tap up back the bar. Them going to find those excuses because they never intended to serve you. They intended to be ministers. But God now make them be no ministers. They will forever be opposition. They will never have control of this country. And who don't need to wrap their head around that? Because we will take them money and vote for them. Now, that said, I want to remind you that Prime Minister Andrew Holness is also your Prime Minister. Yes, he is. You probably not like him. You probably not love him. Because you're PMP diehard. But he's the Prime Minister of the land. His obligation is to all of us, including you. And you have to embrace that. Because if you don't embrace that, you're going to get left behind. And you're going to believe that they are going to bring something, come give you, them don't have nothing to give you. But the government will give them $20 million a year to help you. So I'm saying to you, embrace that. Don't follow them up with this divisive thing about Mr. Wallace. He's your prime minister, yours and mine. And we are Jamaicans. Mark Golding isn't. Mark Golding is a British Englishman who wanted to take control of Jamaica again. And Uno, somehow didn't want to give him it. We know that a majority of Jamaica wouldn't have done that. But I'm saying to you, pick up your marbles. Nobody now say if I say shower labor right and put on green shirt. I'm saying to you, choose Jamaica. It is a national cry, a national call to patriotism, to build Jamaica, to make Jamaica better, to make your life better, your children's life better, your community. Them man don't have nothing to offer this country. Them a look something. Them now look nothing for you, them are looking for themselves. Power and money. Choose Jamaica. Nobody says a JLP thing, it's not. It's a national call to patriotism, to build your life for your community and your church and your children's life. Let it be a national call to patriotism. Choosing Jamaica. Choosing Jamaica means that you get up every day and you choose your family. You get up every day and you choose your community. You get up every day and you want better and you're seeking better and you're doing better. Choosing Jamaica is get up every day and making sure your children are healthy and you are healthy. And there are opportunities for you to explore and for you to find out and for you to take. Opportunities are there. That is choosing Jamaica. Choosing Jamaica is choosing life. Choosing Jamaica is choosing opportunity. Choosing Jamaica is choosing success and prosperity. It's not a slogan. It's not a slogan. It's your life. And I want you to think about it. I don't expect you to jump on it right away. But I want you to think it through and understand what I'm saying to you. You get it? I know you get it. Alright? I wanted to close out by saying to the JLP, and I'm not a JLP member and I probably have no business saying what I'm about to say, but I don't know how to shut my mouth when something wrong and something wrong. And I want to start in Westmoreland, where Mr. Moreland was removed as a candidate by the delegates of the JLP, and they chose Mr. James as a candidate. Some story that has come into me is very hurtful. One, and not one, about two I don't know if it's 2 or 3 of them was on a call to me to tell me why the people was rejecting Mr. Moreland. The people of Western, the JLP people and the voters were rejecting Mr. Moreland because Mr. Moreland's a crook and he was taking everything for himself. And he was fixing road and buying tractor for himself and using one tractor fixing road. Me no care, me a talk. You can't, people can't let you know. On a behave like you're some kind of damn Dan or some kind of master. Give him own self in contract instead of giving helping people. Not doing anything, telling people that he's not getting any money because he's a first time MP and first time MP don't get money. All them bullwhaps there and people actually believe him. But most importantly, taking the resources of the constituency and passing it through his pocket. For him company, for him tractor, for him truck. And the people got fed up with him. And they never want him. And the people chose Mr. James. And Mr. Moreland went on a sabotage operation to undermine Mr. James to make sure him lose. Him join with Ian Hills. Him never just join. Him do one heap of something and then him out there tweet like him think him want some always for see him and give him something to do. And him out there tweet. Him join with Ian Hills to undermine Mr. James. And Ian Hills know what undermining is or something where him practice in Rise United. And Ian Miles joined with him. And both of them, Ian Miles and Moreland, were actively engaged in working for Ian Hills against Mr. James. Actively engaged. I'm going to leave some things out for now. Just for now. Actively the two of them engage in sabotaging Garfield James' efforts to secure the seat. Now, the winning and losing part, a people vote, whether them buy them vote or not. But these two men are just like bunting them and mark them. Same thing, sabotage, treason. And I'm just hoping, and I can only hope, that the Jamaica Labour Party is not going to make this slide. Because most information that I am assuming that you don't have that information as well. It couldn't be that I have them, I only don't have them. Of what these two men do. Moreland and Ian Miles, who was laughing and grinning with me at the Prime Minister's thing. Very happy and joyful. Must be, I am realizing now, happy and joyful that Mr. James lost. That must have been it. Why I'm so joyful and happy and looking very giddy. It's a simple thing, you know. Simple thing. The same thing happened with Mr. Chin over in South Manchester. From the day he lost to Ian Ives, he took up his marbles, took some people with him, and went his way. And the JLP rewarded him by sending him go run a next seat. That's kind of a Rise United kind of action. Took people with him. Them said them now work for Mr. Ives. One of them reach out to me, try give me bad information. I have to call her out on it and shut her down. Because she one of them who went to Mr. Chin and I undermined and sabotage Ian. Text me and I call on my phone about information, which was bad information, not good information that she wanted to give me. I'm going to call her out on it and tell her it's lies she's telling and it's misleading, she's misleading us. After he took them, they crawled back one by one, wanting back their position to the good, wise campaign manager. I'll take them on with that. But they sold out to Bunting. They did. They sold out to Bunting. Why witnessing it in the PMP? I never do that in the JLP, but I should have. It's politics. You would rather the man lose because you never get it. And you want to make sure him lose because your guy never get it and your guy was a criminal. Mr. Chin, when him turn up in the constituency, tell the people them that him did a study. Him never there about. Because him that study. So him never there about for deal with their concerns. But him look a crew, they were well taken care of. And they walked out of the constituency and the campaign and left Ian Ives. And they never not only did that, they did not vote. Them take Bunting money and they did not vote. And we could have denied till God come. We have on up on video. Every single one of we are moving the next day of election with fridge and stove and TV. When they have video, some people just love to take up them phone and take video for no particular reason. And once them see one movement, them start video the whole out. I don't know. What a commitment is to a fridge and a stove and not on a community, not on a constituency, not on a neighbors, not on a country, because Mr. Ives beat him fair and square. And una carry grievances for that, to the extent that una sell out to a dirty man like Bunting. Una exchange, una took Bunting over a decent, good man that come from full ends, because una carry some kind of grievance. Una don't understand the concept of choosing one country and choosing your community and choosing your family. You get some insane, stupid, momentary gratification. Him lose. And they will sit down 5 years with Bunting. And that fridge and that and that stove will fall apart in 2 years. Them things are not there lasting very long. As I'm sure it's a cheap one to buy from the Indian store. They're not going to last very long. And that is what we did. Mr. Moreland is a special case. But uno, the workers from South Manchester, in a disgrace. And you one with a call my phone and send me text about foolishness. You think I'm an idiot or something? From a call you, I don't hear back from you. And uno, some man will watch me. I make sure so they're going to get the message, so I'm going to come on tonight, come on to hear this. Uno where Bunting send for come record me. Yeah, uno. The Bunting send Pierre to come record me. Now you get or something? As you start the recording, me ask you why you recording me. That must have shocked you. That must have shocked you. And you wanted to say, oh, me know you, who should know me recorder? That must have shocked you. Here. I have to now conclude that both parties are the same. I conclude that. Two on the same thing. You don't get one who wants to work against neighbors, work against communities, work against everything. How do not getting one who want? Fool man lose. He did it for 4 years. Never did a thing. Thief all the money for himself. That's Moreland. Him went studying for about 2.5 years. I'm to see him. And then a man come and people decide to give that man a chance, and he beat him fair and square. If I take it from him, he beat him fair and square. And your response to that is to sabotage him. Because you'd rather him lose than your community win. Like the man in the PMP who would rather the ship sink and land on the ocean floor right beside the remains of the Titanic. They would have rather that than hand it over to a new captain. No, they can't hand it over to a new captain. It is the power that they must have. And the power will not, the kind of power they want will not come. They will not be government. So, they will go hold on the PMP until it sink to the bottom of the ocean, right on the ocean floor, beside the remnants of what is left of the Titanic. They would rather that happen than hand it over to a new captain. Why do you think God will give us those people to lead this country? I trust my God. He's not. That's why I put them so near, for them to see the power and smell it and taste it so near. And Dr. Dawes is that Minister of Health, and Raven Hines is that Minister of Sport. That honor goes to Christopher Tufton and Babsy Grange. Thank God. So, uno, in a Westmoreland and South Manchester, uno get where they don't get. The whole of uno. Alright, so that's the end of that. I want to heal up some people, and boys are a whole heap of people. I was going into True Value about 2 weeks ago, I think, or maybe 3, I don't know, and I hear somebody say, Karen Cross, and I thought it was somebody else. I say hello. I say yes, and I went over and say hello. It was a gentleman who told me that his name is Donald. Hello, Donald. It was nice to have met you. Pleasure. And Donald gave the resistance a contribution. Thank you, Donald. It was lovely to meet you. Thank you for watching. All right. I also met a True Value, Mr. Brown. Boy, Mr. Brown, about 3 times I must say the Tree Valley. It must be a hard and True Valley shopper like me. But it's good to hear yourself, Mr. Brown. I want to say hello to the Wyndhams. We sat beside them at the inauguration, the Prime Minister's inauguration. Hello, Mrs. Wyndham and Mr. Wyndham. It was lovely meeting you. Well, Mr. Wyndham never paid much attention to us, but it was lovely meeting Mrs. Wyndham. About that. Joseph Sims. How are you, Joseph? Hello, brother. Great to meet you. I met you and George the same morning. Hi, George. Thank you for watching, both of you. George, please say hello to your lovely wife, Cheryl. Tell her thank her for watching. And I want to heal up Aldane. Now, Aldane is a young fellow who works at Active Traders. And the Active Traders had a week-long sale, so we have to go look what I'm going up there, so. And I met Aldane. And I walked in and Aldane was sitting there and they said, Karen Cross. Hello, Aldane. Great young fellow. Really helped me that day, and it was lovely meeting you, Aldane. I'll see you again soon, I think. The sale done, but I'll see you again another time. And that same day, I met Alison from Miss Carencia's constituency. She was also in True Value. Hello, Alison. Lovely meeting you too, young lady. In Ocho Rios, I met the former councillor for the Gale division. I think his name is James. Sir James, lovely meeting you, sir. And a nice young fellow also I met that morning. Kadir, I don't remember if it's Kadir or Kadane. Upkiss. You told me you're going to tune in. I hope you did. You and I have some things to talk about. You're a young fellow who has certain aspirations and ambitions, and I tell you that I'm going to link up with you. I'm going to talk soon. Throughout this entire thing with the resistance, we were fortunate and blessed to have the guidance and counsel of an African chief, a real African chief, who was kind of a guiding force for the resistance. Talked to us about our African heritage, guided us on things that we should talk about and things that how we should expose certain things. We can't pronounce his name. He's a prince, next in line to take over his tribe in the Ivory Coast, and we simply call him Mr. Africa, and he knows who he is. Bless you, sir. Thank you. Look forward to your continued guidance in our endeavors. And God bless you all and so. Alright, I'm taking no more than 2 phone calls. So if you don't want to do it now, else I'm going to hang up. I'm going to go off. So, alright, anybody wants to make a call? It's now or never. It's now or never. No phone calls? Everybody alright? What the chat want to know? The chat wants to know. No, I did not make a mistake with Ian Miles. Ian Miles was joined with Mr. Moreland. Both of them was sabotaging Mr. James. No mistake. I was very, very deliberate about it. No mistake. It's not a mistake. Yes, I'm talking about Ian Miles. Both of them. And needless them deny, because they are going to seem to forget that this is politics and everybody have a phone and everybody's phone always up looking for something. And like ants to sugar, them always find it, whatever it is that them looking for. Alright, well, I'm assuming nobody's going to call, so this is where we get off. I thank you all so very much for joining me tonight. It was great talking to you. Sorry to keep you so long. How long was this? It wasn't that long. Thank God. So, thank you very much for joining. God bless you all. Stay safe, everybody, and please remember, keep your children safe. Alright, until next time, good night. Yeah. Yeah.